Have you ever wished upon a star? Have you ever played childhood games with 20-sided dice, created fantastical realms with magic and dragons and song, the twinkling of a star overhead, wishing to always be together, just like that? Has your wish ever been granted by a star? The funny thing about stars is if the dream isn't quite ready to become a reality, it falls asleep, and to all the world it would be dark. But a wish heard would always fight to be fulfilled. Far away, in another universe, this wish that lay upon a star started to take form again, and again, and again. An endless cycle thwarted every time by a being, with eyes of blue and green seeking its own gains. A devil wanting to balance out the scale, to stop the growth and magic being granted to these boys of that star's destiny, furthering its own secret agenda. These cycles doomed each of the boys to a lonely eternity, forever mocked by the tragic ends their friends had met, and the sacrifices that were made because of their mistakes, either at the hand of the odd-eyed devil, humanity's greed, or the dragon they'd once wished into reality. Until we arrived at this universe's story. A universe where magic and song were once again united, like they'd originally wished, where they were idols, celebrated for their use of beautiful magic, and where they began to embrace their inner origins, ones that, at first glance, appeared to be monsters, ones that, in another tale, they might have run away to hide in a magical forest. But still, they resisted the calling fate placed in their path, for they did not want to be the boys of destiny. Saving the world was not what they had in mind, and so the devil swooped in yet again. But these same 5 boys had a different chance, for this time the star took a new form. Painstakingly sent through failed times and spaces, a 20-sided die, delivered by the dreamy ghost of the failed stars, the ones that fought to be recalled and seen. Remember my name, that was its plea, paired with terrifying visions of a failed future. In the other worlds, of which there were as many as there were stars in the sky, where the boys had succumbed to their temptation during the blue hour and allowed the world to fall into chaos, the star could not offer its hand, since the island the boys resided on could not see the stars in the sky, and thus, instead, its purpose was corrupted. This could not be allowed to happen again. Unlike Peter Pan, the boys couldn't live forever in the Neverland of broken promises. They had to grow up. Though they may have taken the wrong steps, taking careless deals with the sly devil that sat by their window, they had not yet doomed themselves. Fate, though it may have decided their true names, needed not to twist the same dark way every time. All that had to be done was find a single moment that hadn't yet become a rock, set in stone, and instead twist it into a star. Their star. Though the boys faced trials they'd once lost, whether it be fighting each other, the looming darkness, or those many factions who wished to control them, they would inevitably fall painfully. This time, it would end differently, for they learned a fall was not always a disaster, and that instead, they would once again find themselves on the ground, this time ready to face the calamities head-on, in the chapter where they finally regained their name for themselves, refused sugary temptations they'd once fallen for, and twisted fate in their own image. Perhaps they might finally put an end to the blue and green that haunted their nightmares for so long. And the star that existed in eternity, those moments of alwaysness, it would always be waiting for the boys, reunited, to bring an end to the cycle of doomed nights, defeating it like the wish that started it all. It hoped to awaken once more and smile down at the 5 boys it had long been waiting for. So, let me ask you again, have you ever wished upon a star? The end.